What's up, y'all? I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut. Thanks for coming back for yet another week. I obviously need a bigger rock. So today is the start of a new project for me, something I've been learning, studying, something I've been scared of in the past, like fearful to work on, and that is low voltage landscape lighting. So let me explain how this works. I partnered with this company called Volt Lighting, and the way that we made our partnership is I was able to go through their website and tell them everything I wanted to landscape light my entire house all the way around, and they supplied all of the fixtures for free. So that's how this sponsorship is working. Now, because this is new to me, I've actually had to rely on their customer service for a lot of the detail work, and that's one of the things I want to point out here before we get going. The thing about Volt Lighting is they are actually set up to work with DIYers, and so you can call their customer service and they'll help you with everything from what size transformer you need, what size wire you need, which fixtures are going to do best here and there. So I did all of that. I've been through their customer service and talked to them and got everything laid out. So let me show you how everything starts. So the first thing you need to do is lay out your plan, and I basically just did a drawing here, and I actually have this broken into two phases. So I've got phase one, which we're going to work on just this small little section right here today of phase one, but then I have phase two, which is the other side of the house, and you can see much more complicated and going to take a lot more work. I'm going to have to dig under sidewalks and all kinds of stuff. So I figured, since I'm not experienced, I'll start with a nice easy little spot here and then see how it goes, and then I'll work my way out. So in other words, eat this elephant in small bites. So real quick, just to give you an overview, T is transformer. I have a transformer right there. And then today we're going to install two of the uplights here and one here. I was going to do two on this tree, but I think I'm going to try to get away with one. So two there and one there. So we're going to have one wire run, and then we're going to plug into it or hook into it, whatever the term is. And then we're going to run a wire out here today. We're going to hook into it there, and then tonight we're going to see how they look. So this is the fixture right here, and you can't tell, but it is heavy duty. This bad boy is heavy. A lot of beef here, which just shows you the quality that's involved with these. And then there's a stake that I had to put on it, and they have a really long wire lead. We'll talk about why that's an advantage in a minute. And so just so you know, that's what we're installing today, are these uplights. Later on in the project, we've actually got some pathway lights that look like that. And then we have some of these giant torches that actually you can put in like some citronella there. So those are really big. So those are coming a little bit later in the project. Now the reason I chose these is because these are RGB. Now these are all LED lights, so they don't pull a lot of current, but these can be changed all different colors. And you guys know when I do Christmas lights, I have to bring out red and green spotlights and put them all around. So now my landscape lighting will be able to do that for me. So that's the reason I chose these over some other uplights that you might be able to get. Now the first step in the project is that you need to install your transformer. Now when I say install, it's really just have to drill into the wall and hang it. That's what I mean by install it. It's not plugged in yet. I just have the plug sitting over there. But a lot of people are scared of the word transformer. I know I was. But what transformer means is it takes your normal 120 volt power that's in your house and it steps it down or transforms it down to 12 volts. That's why these are called low voltage or 12 volt systems. So that really takes all the danger out of it. It's just low voltage, not going to hurt anything. You still need to follow some rules, but actually there's some rules that you don't have to follow, including polarity, positive, negative. You don't have to worry about that in a low voltage system. So that'll become a little bit more clear when we actually do some wiring. But right now though, I have to do the part that I dread the most. And this is really the part that none of you are going to like, and that is you have to dig. You have to dig trenches. It's just backbreaking work. And really the thing that I'm not looking for the most is I know that I have my fiber optic or my cable line goes through there, and I have some irrigation that goes through there. Irrigation doesn't bother me. I can always repair that pretty easy. But if I cut my cable line, I can't do that, and then I'm without internet for the weekend. So anyway, let's get to digging. All right, so there's the cable, and I didn't hit it. That's why I was kind of just prying like this rather than, well, I was chopping in there. I guess I got lucky. But now this could be an old one. This house was built in 2004, so there's probably 8 or 9 of these going through here, but I'm gonna assume that's mine, or I'm gonna hope that's mine. So that's great. That was one of my concerns, has now been alleviated, maybe. So if you're wondering what I'm doing here, you don't actually have to dig a full trench because it's just a little 12 gauge wire. You got to get it 6 inches underground. So all I'm really doing is just opening up this small trench, and then when I run the wire, I'll be able to just push it down in there and everything will close up with the stomp of a foot. Okay, so now all the digging is done. Let me just show you a little bit more about what we're doing. So I'm gonna take you over and show you. They got a transformer right there, 2 lights right there, and 1 there. So standing back here in the lawn, what that translates to is 1 here on the Royal, and it might need 2, but I'm gonna try to get away with 1. And then we're gonna put 1 on each of these Robollinis. 1 there and 1 there. And then my transformer is right back there. So you can see on the map, it's the same thing. We got a trench that comes out here, and we got a trench going over there, trench going over there. Everything is gonna be buried 6 inches deep. Gonna go under the curb there. Got a trench here that goes out to that one. And that's all we're doing today, is just that small part. And with that, I just need 12 gauge wire. And again, I called customer service and they helped me with that to know which gauge of wire I needed. But we're only having 3 fixtures on this and it's a very short run. So the 12 gauge wire works just fine. Another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give myself a little wrap right there, a little extra, because what I don't know currently is this the right spot? Am I gonna have to move it this way or that way? I don't know. That's why it's just gonna be sitting in here until tonight when I can see what the pattern looks like. And they've also provided me with ways to make the beam thinner or wider. The first thing is you can move this little cover here up and down like this. And what that'll do is it'll flatten the beam out or widen it out. But then there's also another lens that you can put on here that'll narrow the beam as well. But for right now tonight, I can't bury this yet because I don't know. So I've got to wait and just do a dry run. So we're just gonna leave it sitting in there like that for now. And that's why I'm leaving myself an extra wrap there in case I have to move it. Now this is where it's going to hook into the transformer, and I left myself a lot of extra here because I'm inexperienced and I just never know what I'm going to run into. So this is probably too much. In fact, I'm sure it is, but again, I don't want to run short. So it's always better to run long, if you know what I mean. Okay, let me explain to you what this color coding is. So I'm doing this in case I ever have to dig this stuff up. I'll kind of have a better idea of what it is. So for me, red tape will always represent a fixture. So that fixture right there is running down there, and it's got red tape, and then this red tape here is representing that fixture right there. And I'm gonna keep that as a constant, and you'll see I'm gonna update that on my drawing. Now, each of the main lines is going to have a different color, and that will also be represented up there in the box. In case I ever have issues or I have to troubleshoot, I'll know green is up there, then I'll know that that's this wire, and I'll have other colors that go back for when we do the rest of the lighting way back there. So that's what the colors are for. It'll also help you understand what I'm doing here when I show you how we're going to hook this up, because we're going to use these things right here. These are super cool, these hubs. So let me just review what we got going on here. So we got a main wire that's just right here dangling, and we're going to hook it into here in a minute. I'll show you. Ooh, that's going to be fun. And it's not plugged in yet, okay? See? So we're okay. But anyway, we got the main wire right there, and it's running down the trench. Again, it will be buried at 6 inches. We're coming here, and then I have this hub. So there's the main, and then here's the other main right there that's going to get tied in. That goes all the way out down there, because we're going to hook that light up down there in a minute. And then here are my two lights here, one over there, and then one over there. And so we got to get all of these joined together now. All right, so check out these hubs. These are cool. You don't need wire nuts. You can use these hubs. Makes things really easy. All right. Now watch this. This is pretty cool. We have these hubs. And so what you're going to do is you're going to put one end of each of these wires into the hub. So we're going to open up these clamps here. Now there's one thing you don't have to worry about, and that is polarity. Like this has white writing on it, this doesn't. They all have to go in the same one. Now it doesn't matter with that, with low voltage. Polarity doesn't matter. So you open them up like that. So we got main here, so main is going in there. I'm gonna push it all the way in there, clamp it. There we go. Now we got one of our lights here. So we'll put that one in there, all the way in, clamp it. Then we got our other main coming up right here. So we'll put that one in right there. Got to keep these nice and neat if you can. Put that one in there, all the way in, clamp it, okay? And then here's our other light, our second light. So we'll put one into that one in there. It looks like we have an extra slot here, but we're not going to need it. So we'll just close it down. All right. So there we go. So what I've got is one of each of everything in there, if you can see that. Okay. Now we're going to take off this tab right here. And there's some sort of shmoo in there. I don't know, dielectric grease or something. Let me spread these out a little more, make sure we got enough room. But that's what's going to seal everything up. So then you just put those bad boys like that. Everything's in there nice and solid, holding tight. Hammer it down. Clamp it. And now you can bury this. Oh yeah. That's pretty sweet. Now we'll do the other one. Now it doesn't matter what order these are in. Okay, so here we go. So there's that one. Down. There's this one. Man, these things, they fray. There's that one. Look at that. Gotta clamp these tighter, I guess. There we go, that's better. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, clamped. Then I got these here. there, clamped, and then the last one. In there, clamped. Okay, those are all secure. Take this off and expose the shmoo. Line everything up as good as possible. Close it up. Now you can bury that nice and neat. Now we're going to test it before we do that though, but that's pretty slick, isn't it? Okay, y'all, I noticed, and I'm sorry if there's wind here, I noticed in the last connection I just did that this probably wasn't the best camera angle, so don't worry, I'm going to be doing a lot more of those connections in future videos, but this one's going to be a little more traditional here, so we'll show you this one, and this is for that one right over there. Remember, our transformer is back over there, behind those palm trees over there. So this is pretty simple. We just have one light, so remember I'm still marked green, so that's the main right there, and then red is always just the fixture. I'm getting better at this wire stripping too as I get more practice, so that's kind of fun. So remember, it doesn't matter left, right, positive, negative. You just want to get 1 and 1 here. I think I'm going to take even a little bit more of this one here off the fixture, because it's going to do the main wrapping around that fatter cord there. So we wrap those like that. So I got that wrapped together. Now this has that shmoo inside of it too. So you just wrap this like this, as good as you can. Shove it up in there, like that, and then twist it around. And then do the same on this side. And there we go. There's our connection. We're good to go. We can bury that now. All right, here we are now at the transformer. We're not plugged in yet. And the first thing we gotta do is we gotta get rid of one of these knockouts here so we can run wire through the bottom. This sure is a lot harder than it has to be. I can't believe that you electrician people haven't come up with an easier way to do this. Man. You can see I have that marked in green, so I know what it is at any time. All right, so you have, this is COM for common, and then 12, 13, 14, 15 volt. You're gonna use these other taps here. So every single main that you bring in, half of it's gonna go on the COM, doesn't matter which half, just pick one. And then the other half is gonna go either on 12, 13, 14, or 15. These other ones are for if you have longer runs, there's voltage loss and it can cause the lights to be dim, or if you have more lights on a main, that can also cause the lights to be a little bit more dim. So that's something we'll do at the very end, but I already know this is a really short run with only 3 lights on it, so we're gonna go 12. So we're gonna go 1 in the common and 1 in the 12, and we'll be just fine. Now remember, this is just a temporary hookup so we can see what the lights look like and position them, and then I'll bury them. And then at the very end, we'll do a final hookup. But for now, here we go. I definitely need a different screwdriver. This one's a little bit too wide. It's working, but I don't like the way it's wallering out that plastic there, so I'll get a different screwdriver for the next connections. But there we go. Those are in there secure. Now what we got to do is plug it in, flip it on, and then we'll see if they're working. Moment of truth. Let's go see if we have power. Hey, look at that. That's Beauteous Maximus right there. And that one's working? Uh-huh. There we go. That one's working.
I have made fire!
Have made fire!
Okay, so I'm not done yet. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and bury the main wires and everything and all the connections because we know all that's working. I just am not gonna bury the actual fixtures yet because I need to come back tonight and just see how they look. Do they need to be moved where they are? Because I kind of guessed. And then from there, I'll be able to actually bury the fixtures and be all done. But for right now, I got a concert to go to, and when you see me next, it'll be nighttime tonight. Okay, so here I am. I don't know what time it is. Late 30. So look at that. I mean, those are just my outside lights right there. But look at that, one light. Look at how great that is. So I can actually take these and I can narrow the light or whatever, narrow the spotlight. But I just wanted to make sure that this was a good spot, right? Because I can't go any further out. You don't want this in the lawn. And so that one right there, that's great. So I'm good there. And then these guys over here, these are really good too, because you got to realize I can only go so far out. So all I needed to know is it okay to bury the light right there? And look at that. So I can narrow the beam or whatever, but as far as a test goes, that's the right spot. These look really good. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's everything I got for you guys. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Now there's going to be a lot more coming up as far as landscape lights go. This was just my first, run at this. So if you guys leave comments below, it'll let me know, like, what did I not cover right? What else do you need to know? What else would you like to see? And we'll go from there, because I got to do all the way back there. See how dark that is? Got a lot to do back there. And then, of course, the whole other side of the house. And also, I'll show you how I can change these different colors. You can bring the warm white down a little bit. You can do red, green, whatever. So, but as far as a first try goes, I'm really happy with the way that turned out. So, all right, well, oh, look at that. Whoa. Whoa. All right, let's find red. Red. Oh, nope, that's not red. That's yellow. That's not it. Where's red? Is that red? There's red. Okay. Boom. Look at how cool that looks. All right, let's go over here. Is that green, sorta? Yeah, that's green. And we do green here. Boom! There we go, now it's Christmas. How cool does that look, huh?